Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Baba Sankara. This is my first video regarding the introduction of interpretation of the statutes. I'll give the introductory part in the next video, but let us confine to the syllabus prescribed by Acharya Nagarjuna University in this semester regarding the interpretation of the statutes. So basically, in the first unit, we are going to inform you or tell you about the introductory part of the introduction, so interpretation of the statutes, as well as the construction, the differences between interpretation and construction, and the general principles of interpretation like literal rule of interpretation, and then we'll go to the how you have to read the words and their connected meanings, how to know the inner meaning of the words, associated meaning of the words, and reading the words according to the strict concept, right? Then Unit 2 deals with the beneficial construction and also a restrictive construction. So we'll go to the exceptional construction later, but in the second unit we are going to discuss the beneficial construction, the restrictive construction. So normally we'll deal with the changes in the common law principles and also we'll discuss the topic of materia as regards the beneficial construction. How to give benefit to the accused if there is no proof of materia, benefit of doubt. Then we are going to Unit 3. Unit 3, that is ideological approach in the so-called interpretation, or you can say it as a theoretical approach in this the interpretation, that is judicial activism, judicial restraint, judicial constraint, and judicial restraint, all these things, judicial activism. So normally we will be having a main focus on the judicial activism as well as judicial restraint also. Then coming to the unit number 4, they deal with the presumptions. So it is presumptions regarding the jurisdiction, that is presumption against the outstanding established jurisdiction and creating new jurisdiction. Regarding the jurisdiction, we have a detailed discussion. So what is peculiar jurisdiction, what is extraterritorial jurisdiction, all these things we are going to discuss, and how far statutes affect the jurisdiction. Then presumptions against violation of international law. Actually, this has to be told in the international law, but anyway, if there is any point of jurisdiction regarding the dispute regarding the jurisdiction, how to solve the same. Actually, we will deal it in the international law, but we will just touch it in this interpretation of the statutes. Right, now we are going to the 5th unit, that is construction. Already I told you the difference between, we will discuss the difference between interpretation and construction. The construction to avoid collusion with the other provisions. So that is justice and reasoning, right? So the presumption against the so-called absurdity, presumption against interesting injustices, against impairing obligations, so against retrospective operation of the statutes. These are all the presumptions. May presume, shall presume, conclusive proof, how to presume all these things. So we will learn in the unit 5. So far we have discussed 50% of the subject. Now coming to the unit number 6, exceptional construction. In the unit number 2, we will discuss, we have to discuss the so-called beneficial construction and also restrictive construction. Now we are coming to the exceptional construction, like modification of the language. So use it to meet the intention. You have to modify the language. The language may be some word, may will become shall. Equitable construction, you have to maintain balance between both of them. Then strict construction of the penal laws, there is no other go. We have to implement the same strictly. Then unit number 7, subordinate principles. Subordinate principles. So you all know subordinate jurisdiction, subordinate law, all these things you know in the administrative law. But anyway, here we are going to discuss the subordinate principles. That is a construction imposed by the statute, construction of words. So please remember, in bonum party, then change of the language, then general words following more specific meaning of the similar expressions. Even interpretation and construction, they appear to be similar, but there are differences. Coming to unit number 8. So, intentions attribute to the legislature. Already I told you, interpretation is nothing but to know the legislative intent. So, please remember. So, there are certain inside fields that are like absolute and qualified privileges, duties, impossibility of the compliance, and likewise doctrine of waiver, doctrine of pith and substance, doctrine of private and public remedies we are going to discuss. Then unit number 9, it entirely discusses stare decisis. So seize the above decision. Doctrine. So actually it came from US. We are going to discuss all these stare decisis. So then unit 10, statutory interpretation of the judicial process. Right, that is a rule of statutory interpretation, legislature, and the rule of literal interpretation, mischief and golden rule. And here I will tell you ius rem generis also. Lastly, unit number 11, differentiating from statutory interpretation versus some other interpretations. So here you will learn the so-called harmonious construction, then ius rem generis, and once again doctrine of occupied field, residuary powers of the adjudicates, then repugnancy also we are going to, and amending power of the legislature, and ultimately what are the actually DPSP, is it above fundamental rights or equal to fundamental rights or below fundamental rights? This will be the last topic for discussion. So this will be the syllabus. So it is divided into 11 units. Of course, we may jumble from one to, for example, strict construction, beneficial construction, we may come to exceptional construction. So when you discuss the mischief rule, we come to harmonious construction. Then we will tell you the ius rem generis or nociter esosis. All these things, they may sometimes overlap each other. But anyway, this is the brief subject or topics, units we are going to discuss in this particular interpretation of the statutes. So with this introduction, don't get confused. So all these things will be very easy after you learn the same. Only thing is you have to attend the course or you have to attend the classes, then it will be better for you to understand. With this, I am concluding. Thank you very much.